Costs are rising faster than wages, and for a lot of people, the maths just doesn't math anymore. So the question isn't how do I budget better? It's whether you learn to swim or keep hoping the floodwaters go down. Total wage growth since 2020 in Australia is up 18.5%. Total cost of living is up 23.7%. That means the real wage gap is 5.2%, not in your favour. This means the average worker has lost about 5% of their purchasing power since the start of the pandemic. If you feel like you're doing everything right but still falling behind, this is why. While the average rise in cost of living was 23.7%, essential specific services saw a much steeper climb. Insurance up 39%, electricity up 38%, and the list goes on. And housing. Since 2020, national home values have risen by approximately 47%. In 2020, the median house price was roughly 6.6 times the average income. And by 2026, it has climbed to nearly 9 times the average income. Meanwhile, we've had cumulative rent rises. In some cities like Hobart and Adelaide, advertised rents have jumped between 57% and 64% since 2020. Rent is now increasing by 5.4% annually as of 2026. And your income share. Renters now allocate on average 33.4% of pre-tax income to rent, up from a low of 26.2% in September 2020. So when people say just budget better, they're ignoring the reality. The biggest costs in life have outpaced wages by a mile. So what does the future hold? No one knows. So don't try to predict. Just try to set yourself up as best as you can. And what can you do? Well, this is how you can break free of the negative cycle. In every cost of living crisis, there are only 3 levers you can pull: your mindset, your expenses, and your income. So what mindset changes can set you up for success? Well, for starters, no one is coming to save you. Not the government, not the banks, not the billionaires, not AI. Your best bet is to start asking, what can you do for you? And 2, the floodwaters are rising, and you can either yell at the sky gods to make it stop raining, the RBA or the government, or you can build a raft or a boat or learn to swim. I choose not to yell at the sky gods, but I hope to help people learn to swim or build their own boats. Now for the thing everyone focuses on: saving money. Honestly, this can help, but it's not going to get you out of trouble. If anything, you're playing defense. If your income isn't increasing faster than the cost of living, then saving money is really only delaying the inevitable. However, it is valid to focus on your expenses and see where you can minimize outgoings, because plugging holes in a leaky bucket means you just have more water. That's science. Every year, we renegotiate our interest rates on our mortgages where we can, making sure we're competitive and reducing where possible. The squeaky wheel gets the grease, and you need to be the squeaky wheel. This goes for insurance, phone, internet, any of your fixed bills. Call up and see if you can get a cheaper plan, because they never automatically let you just pay less. You have to ask. Housing and transport are by far the biggest expenses for most people, which with housing costing on average between 30 and 50% of income, and car loans costing Australians on average $11,000 per year. That's not including maintenance, insurance, and fuel. If you can find a way to spend less on these 2 big expenses, buy a cheaper car, live in a cheaper suburb, downsize. The periods in my life where I saved the most money weren't where I was super clever. They were just at a time when my housing costs were basically zero. And electricity, yeah, you can look to run expensive appliances through the day when the electricity is cheaper per kilowatt hour, especially if you have solar. But this may not be the biggest lever to pull. But yes, it can make a difference. Food is a big one. Can you shop more efficiently or in bulk? This may be different for everybody, as everyone's eating habits and preferences are different. But can you eat out less, buy less expensive takeaway, buy cheaper options, or adjust your taste to eat cheaper meals regularly? Once again, this is an option. You just have to decide where you're willing to sacrifice your lifestyle for savings, if that's the way you want to go. Subscriptions. You can cancel subscriptions and renew when you have a specific show or movie you want to watch. Maybe you can rotate through them or cancel ones that you barely use. This is something that I try to do on a semi-regular basis, as subscriptions quickly pile up. Overall, saving money helps us for sure, but maybe not enough on its own to survive the new world and the new economy, especially if your income doesn't increase at the same rate as inflation. Now, I know what you're thinking. This guy is saying cancel subscriptions. That's weak sauce. But what's the good stuff? Well, this is the fun part. Making money. So this is something that is going to be hard to prescribe, because there are a million ways to make money. Everyone is different, everyone's earning potential is different, and everyone earns money in different ways. Some people make great money as employees, and other people are more entrepreneurial. Instead of being overly specific in this section, I'll first lay out some options for increasing your income and then discuss the flexible mindset I think you need to adopt to see what works for you. There are really only a few realistic ways to increase income. Build or buy a business in something that you have an advantage or interest in. Get paid for a scarce skill. There are lots of niche things that you can learn that will help you earn an income. Work more hours temporarily. This could be the thing. Don't look down on extra income. Or radically upgrade your earning ceiling through education or trade. Now, the reason that I am so passionate about the subject of focusing on your income is I invested for years buying my first property at 21 years old and slowly working towards building my property empire as I earned more money. I did this for years and made some good money, but I fought cash flow issues, bankruptcy with builders, and interest rate stress. Meanwhile, a guy I worked with left, started his own company, and 5 years later got a $100 million acquisition. Now, I'm not saying investing is useless. I still invest consistently. It just highlights how important a money-making mindset is to your overall net worth. Now for the contentious part, investments. Investments are not going to get you out of trouble, unless you have been investing for a long time and they're finally paying off. But you thinking you can invest your way out of trouble is not going to work. Because if you don't have spare money to invest, you shouldn't be investing. And if you do have spare money to invest, then great, you're not in a crunch. You're on the right track and heading in the right direction. The formula for investing is very simple. Spend less than you earn and invest a portion of your income consistently over the long term, not chasing trends or short-term gains. So use the other strategies above to build some disposable income, then invest for the future so you are protected against future increases in the cost of living. To summarize, don't yell at the sky gods, start learning how to build a boat or learn how to swim. The goal isn't just to survive in this cost of living crisis. It's to set yourself up so the next one hurt less. But the real takeaway here is that the cost of living crisis doesn't kill people, a stagnant income does. If you like this video, please consider liking and subscribing. Thanks for watching.